Welcome. This is a pre-recorded information session on study abroad and exchange opportunities offered through the International Exchange and Student Center at CSUN. This session is designed to let you know a little bit more about studying abroad and exchange opportunities that are available during studies and beyond. Now I'll introduce Eleanor Walgast to tell you a little bit more about herself.
Excellent. So welcome everyone. My name is Eleanor Walgast and I am a study abroad and national student exchange advisor at the International Exchange Student Center. Really excited that all of you are here today. I actually graduated from CSUN a number of years ago and participated in a CSUN study abroad program, and we'll talk a little bit more about the program that I went through in a little bit. But I studied in Florence, Italy for an academic year, so I'm really excited to see all of you go on these amazing adventures and programs, hopefully very soon. When it comes to traveling, my favorite aspect of traveling is just meeting people wherever you go. In the year that I was abroad, I made so many friends from all over the world, so many different countries, and even just other parts of the United States. And those friends that I made abroad and on exchange are actually now some of my closest friends. So we look forward to working with you. Pass back to Rebecca.
Great. Hello again. I'm Rebecca Spector, and I'm also an alum of CSUN. I received my undergraduate degree here, and I've also received my master's degree this last spring. I've worked in the international education field for a little over 10 years. Before this position, I was an international student advisor advising F1 international students that attended CSUN. But just this last year, my role has now changed, and now I'm hoping to either send you abroad or on exchange. One thing that I like to do when I travel is find local eateries in the location I'm visiting to be able to support the local community and enjoy different types of food I haven't had before. So now I'll let Eleanor tell you a little bit more about why you should study abroad.
Awesome. So there are many benefits to studying abroad, and I'm sure all of you have your reasons for being here today and why you want to go abroad or go on exchange, and we look forward to hearing all of those reasons. But some of the popular reasons that students have participated in these programs we've listed here. So discovering different cultures, developing a broader understanding of the world, learning a foreign language, enhancing your resume, establishing independence, and making lifelong friends. So again, I can't wait to hear more about what your reasons for going are, because this is an exciting journey.
Great. So Eleanor and I work at the International Exchange Student Center, also known as the IESC. So on campus, our office is located in the University Student Union on the way to the Student Recreation Center across from the computer lab. At the IESC, we provide services and advise newly admitted and continuing international F1 and J1 visa students, FULBRIGHT students, and participants of the Study Abroad program and National Student Exchange program. At IESC, we also coordinate cultural and social events that allow our students to share their national heritage and get involved with the campus educational community. Now I'll go over the programs we'll be discussing today in this information session. First, we will discuss California State University International Programs, also known as CSUIP. We'll then discuss campus-based exchange programs, known as CBEP. Then we will discuss the National Student Exchange Program, also known as NSC. And then I'll discuss two opportunities that are available closer to when you are about to graduate, so when you're an alumni, the China Scholarship Program, as well as the Fulbright Student Program. Now I'll let Eleanor introduce you to CSUIP and a little bit more about our campus-based exchange programs.
All right, so the CSUIP program is the first program we are going to talk about today. Now, the CSUIP is unique, and it stands for the California State University International Program, and this program does actually operate at all 23 CSU campuses, so it is a system-wide program. So you're not just going with CSUN students, but from students from all over the Cal State system. To give you a closer look at what this program looks like, we actually have a video from a CSUIP alum.
When I first got to Granada, I was in awe at all the beautiful architecture and the bustling Spanish streets. One day, soon after my arrival, a friend I met from Belgium took me to his favorite spot in Granada. Mirador San Miguel Alto, a small and old yet beautiful church on the top of a hill that overlooks the entire city of Granada. Looking around, I was mesmerized by it all. La Alhambra glowing gold in the setting sun, the Sierra Nevada behind it standing tall with its snowy white caps turning an orange pink, and down below, the city where you can hear flamenco in the streets, get free food with your drinks, dance, and never sleep. Taking in all the beauty, I felt like I was on top of the world. As my adventure abroad neared an end, I revisited that spot above the city, but this time, rather than the charming castle and grand cathedral, I was captivated by the beauty of the people, the culture, and the love that runs deep between them. I looked at it with wiser and wider eyes, feeling grateful for the love the city kindly showed me. Standing above Granada as the day turned to night, I felt at home in a city where people love to live life.
Okay, perfect. So hopefully that inspired you all to, if not go to Spain, somewhere else, right? As you can see, there are some really, really cool advantages to going abroad, and those are some of the views that you can partake in. So when it comes to the CSUAP program, students have the option to study for 1 semester or an academic year, so you do have some flexibility when it comes to the time frame that you go abroad. You have 18 countries to choose from, and within those countries, a variety of major, minor, GE, and or elective courses. So a lot of different options so that you're still making progress towards your academic goals at CSUN. While you're on exchange, you are earning credit towards your degree, and that credit actually comes back as resident credit. So on your transcript at CSUN, it will show up as though those classes were taken at a CSU as opposed to a university abroad. So that can be very beneficial if we have any transfer students in the house, or even if you just have a major or minor that is very particular about how many units are taken away from CSUN. When it comes to the eligibility of this program, the countries will vary depending on GPA, so that can be anywhere from a 2.5 to a 3.2 GPA requirement. But many of the countries do have flexibility, so even if you do see, say, like a 3.0 and you're not quite there yet, there may be some flexibility. So just talk to us and we can walk with you through those options. What's also unique about the CSUAP program, and really just any of the programs that we offer through our office, is that students continue to pay CSUN tuition, and if you receive financial aid, you continue to receive your financial aid while you're abroad as well. So it's really just like you're here at CSUN cost-wise in many ways, and so that could be really beneficial. And then finally, there are tons of scholarships that you can look into, and so we encourage you to take advantage of those because that's free money that they're giving away, so why not, right? All right, so continuing on that, when it comes to the financing of study abroad, what's also really great about the CSUAP program is that there is no application fee, so it is free to apply. So you're not putting any money down just to put your name in the hat, so we definitely encourage you to at least start an application to see what's involved, and you never know, that could get you abroad. In addition, like I mentioned earlier, you continue to pay CSUN tuition, so that remains the same, and then you continue to use your financial aid. As I mentioned, we do have a number of scholarships that we encourage students to look into, and I've identified a few of them here, such as the CSUN Financial Aid and Scholarship Department, the Gilman Scholarship, the Boren Award, JASO, Asia Freeman, Dodd, FastWeb, and there are many more, and these are all listed on our website, and at the end of this presentation I will take you to our website and show you where you can find this information. So when it comes to the application process, it's actually not that scary, and I think that's something that students oftentimes associate with a study abroad program, is that it might be a lengthy process or a difficult process, and it's actually kind of a fun process. And so you'll see we've identified the application deadlines for the programs, and for an academic year or a fall semester term, the deadline is February 15th of every year. So it's one solid deadline, very easy to remember. If you're interested in a calendar year or a spring term, and by calendar year we mean programs that start in a spring semester and return at the end of a fall semester, and those include South Africa, Australia, and Chile. Those programs have a deadline of September 15th. So that basically is just offset by a semester. And again, that's every year, so it's the same deadline year to year. There are only 2 programs that have a slightly different deadline for an academic year term, and that is our program in Japan, Waseda University, and one of our programs in Germany, the Trossingen Music program. Those are, they have a little bit more involved with the application, and so because of that, the deadline is due January 15th of each year, so just a little bit earlier than our annual February 15th deadline. Now, what do you need to complete your application, right? So for your application to be complete, you must have the following: an online CSUIP application, which again is free to apply. You'll also need to upload all unofficial transcripts to that online portal. And by all, we mean all. So if you've taken any courses at a community college, another university, taken any type of college credit to transfer over to CSUN, they're going to want to see those unofficial transcripts, even if you've already transferred the units over to CSUN. Additionally, they are going to ask that you start reviewing courses with your academic advisor. While Rebecca and I would love to sign off on all courses for students, that would make the process easier. We unfortunately are not academic advisors, so we cannot tell you what classes you can take, but we can help guide you. And so that is one of the processes, is that you'll start the review process, and we can guide you on that path so that you work with your academic advisor to get courses signed off. Additionally, we do have a couple of recommendations that are going to be included. The first that applies to all applications would be the faculty recommendation, and it does need to be a faculty member, so a professor that you have taken a class with. Identify someone who knows you well, and if you don't know a faculty member well enough and you're not close enough yet, this is a great time to get to know them, right? We're all kind of on the same playing field. We're all working virtually, and so what a great way to visit their virtual office hours, or hang around on Zoom after class and connect with them. Additionally, if you are applying for a program that has a language requirement, and you'll find most of our programs do not, most of them are going to be offered in English, but if you are fluent in another language and you want to take courses in another language, we have a handful of programs that offer that. If you identify one of those as a program you want to participate in, then you'll have a foreign language recommendation in your application. And that requirement only pops up if you've identified that particular program. So if you're applying to an English program, you will not even see that, so you don't have to worry about that. If you're a native speaker and do not know a professor who can help you complete the recommendation, contact us and we can work with you to put you in touch with a faculty member in our language department. And then finally, the last recommendation is the easiest recommendation, because Rebecca and I write these for everyone. We definitely encourage you to connect with us, work with us, talk with us, meet with us, because the more we get to know you, the easier it is and the better our recommendations can be, because we have more to say about you. But we do write these recommendations for all of our students. So the IP coordinator recommendation is included in every single application. And finally, if you have a passport, awesome. Check to see if it is still valid, because passports by rule need to be valid at least 6 months after you plan on returning. So, you want to make sure that you have a valid passport by the time you go. So if you don't have a passport yet, or if you need to renew it, I would recommend starting that process as soon as you are able. We know that right now that's probably not possible, since a lot of passport agencies are not currently open. So as soon as it does become a possibility, we encourage you to get started on that. And just right now to be aware that this is something you'll need to get started on as soon as it is available to you. All right, so we are now going to cover the campus-based exchange program. And this is another study abroad opportunity for CSUN students that is available specifically for CSUN students. So CSUIP was a system-wide program. All Cal State students can participate, campus-based, specifically for CSUN. These are agreements that CSUN has made with host campuses abroad, which is pretty cool. So the campus-based exchange is very similar to CSUAP. You'll see it also offers 1 semester or an academic year. So you can choose if you wanted to go for a shorter term or a longer term through the campus-based exchange. Additionally, we have a lot of different countries for you to choose from. The number is not set because year to year we often get new programs added to that. So every time we put a set number, within a couple months, some new programs get added. So it's an always growing and evolving program, which is exciting for you because that just means you keep getting new opportunities. But currently we have quite a few countries for you to choose from, which is great. This program also offers a variety of courses to choose from. Some programs are going to be major specific, so when Rebecca and I meet with you, we can go over, which ones may be required for certain majors, which ones may be open to a variety of majors. But you do have lots of courses to choose from, and many of these do give you the flexibility to go for major, minor, TEs, or electives. So we'll work with you to see what could be the best fit for you. The other slightly differing aspect of this is the fact that you'll earn transfer credit. So you're still earning credit from your program while you're there. It'll come back towards units, so it comes back towards your GPA, but it is going to come back as transfer credit. And what that basically means is on your transcript, it will show up that you transferred courses from Oslo Met University or something like that. Not a huge difference, not a huge deal, but just something to keep in mind because it will look a little bit different on your CSUN transcript. Additionally, when it comes to GPA requirement, it's anywhere between a 2.5 and a 3.0 GPA, so you do have a little bit of flexibility with the GPA. And then, just like CSUAP, you continue paying CSUN tuition, and if you receive financial aid, you'll continue receiving financial aid as well. So you can use what you're using at CSUN. And then there are a lot of scholarships for you to look into as well. So definitely apply for those. Again, that's free money they're giving away, so take advantage of that because it's a great opportunity. So for the application process, we've actually made our application deadlines fall in line with the CSUAP program. So you'll see for a fall or an academic year term, the deadline every year is February 15th. For a spring exchange, it's September 15th. We don't currently have any programs that operate on the calendar year, so we only have that spring option for the September 15th deadline. You'll notice that Ireland it is separated out because it is one of our most popular programs. So we do have a partnership at the University of Limerick in Ireland. It's been very popular over the years, so because of that, we have been limited to how many students we're able to send each year. So to give everyone a fair chance at applying, if you want to go for a fall, a spring, or an academic year term, the deadline each year is February 15th so that everyone can apply at the same time. So you'll still have some good options there. When it comes to the application itself, it's going to be a similar process to CSUAP as well. So it is an online application. This application is also free, so you don't have to put any money down. So we encourage you to take advantage of just applying, see what happens. You never know. For this application, we also only require your CSUN unofficial transcript. So even if you transferred courses over, things like that, we're not going to ask for those other transcripts, just the CSUN one. And because it is the unofficial transcript, you don't have to pay for it. So do not pay for it. You can get it from your DPR or from your online portal. This program only requires one letter of recommendation, and that can be a professor or a staff member. And by staff member, that could be an academic advisor, that could be maybe a supervisor that you work for at CSUN, someone who knows you well. So we are very flexible with that too. And then again, remember to apply or renew for your passport whenever you are able to, because once you are accepted, that process does happen very quickly, and so you just don't want to be waiting on a passport if, once accepted. And then once you've submitted your application, we will review it, and then students who meet all requirements and application deadlines will be called in for a final interview. That interview is not as scary as it sounds. It's really just a chance for us to connect with you. We put you in touch with faculty who are affiliated with these programs, and then we submit our final recommendation to the host campus, and they'll let us know who they're able to accept. Great, so I'm going to now pass this on to Rebecca, and she will give a little bit of info about our NSE program.
Great, thanks, Eleanor. Let's go ahead and start by showing the NSC video we have for everyone.
We all know that college is about expanding your horizons, growing as a person, and preparing for the next steps after graduation. But how can you make your experience unique? Consider National Student Exchange. This study away program features the academic offerings of 160 colleges and universities throughout the United States and Canada, providing you with the awesome courses, programs, and experiences of your choice post-campus. Through National Student Exchange, or NSE, you can expand your courses and major beyond what is available at your home campus, study with expert faculty, pursue research opportunities, or investigate possible graduate schools. This is a great way to broaden your academic perspectives and stand out among other job applicants after college. During college, it can be easy to get buried in your studies and lose sight of growing personally through your college experiences. NSE is a great way to jumpstart your academic growth while becoming more independent. You can experience different geographic settings and gain insight into the historical and cultural makeup of different regions in the US and Canada. National Student Exchange also allows you to grow professionally. NSE provides access to internships, developing practical skills in your field or major, and improving communication and collaboration skills with people from diverse backgrounds. Preparing yourself to live and work in a culturally diverse society is a special advantage to NSE. Want to learn more about NSE? Head on over to www.nse.org to start your study away adventure today.
All right, so maybe you're looking for a program where you can stay a little closer to home than being abroad. Maybe you wanted to go to school on the East Coast, but you didn't want to pay for out-of-state tuition. Who wants to hit classes in New York or maybe New Jersey and hang out in the city after classes or enjoy Broadway shows on your nights or weekends? Or maybe you wanted to attend a campus that has a football team, be able to experience that college atmosphere that CSUN currently isn't offering. Can you imagine studying a semester or a year in Guam, Puerto Rico, or the Virgin Islands? Think how cool that would be. You know, be at the beach before and after classes, enjoying some amazing food, live the island life a little bit while you're getting your education. Well, this might be the opportunity for you. NSE is open to all study levels. You are eligible to go for that one semester or the academic year. 2.5 is what is required for most campuses for the GPA. There are some that might require a higher, so definitely when you're looking at the campus profiles, look at the GPA requirements. You can pursue either your major, minor, and GE and/or electives, which is great. You have many options to choose from depending on what you want or need to take. These courses will show up as transfer credits on your transcript. What's great is you could either pay CSUN tuition or the host campus in-state tuition fees. So there are no additional fees as being an out-of-state resident. You can receive financial aid from CSUN or from the host campus, depending on which tuition fees you pay. And then lastly, NSE is offered at about 160 universities within the US, Canada, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the US Virgin Islands. Now we're going to go on to the next slide to discuss financing your NSE. So the National Student Exchange is unique in that students have a couple different options when it comes to financing their exchange. When you review your campus options through NSE, you'll come across two different payment options, the host payment plan and the home payment plan. During the application process, you get to decide which payment plan you want to be placed on. So students who go with the host payment plan, they'll be paying the host campus in-state tuition fees and receive financial aid from the host campus, assuming you are eligible for aid. This is a unique opportunity, as usually the reason students do not study out of state is because of the out of state fees. However, through NSE, these out-of-state fees are waived, and students on the host payment will be considered a resident of the state they're studying in for that term, or on the exchange for tuition purposes. Something to keep in mind is when it comes to host payment plan is that students are not eligible to use Cal Grants, CSUN scholarships, or other California-based aid, since you will be considered a resident of that different state. The other option is the home payment plan, and we've identified that as CSUN for you on the screen, as we are your home campus. When you go with the home payment option, it's essentially like being at CSUN in that you're continuing to pay CSUN tuition, and you'll receive financial aid from CSUN if you're eligible. Something to keep in mind for the home payment option is that you are not eligible to use work study through this payment plan while on exchange. Cal Grants, CSUN scholarships, and other California-based aid you can utilize, but work study is only available through host payment at select campuses. You do have a couple different options, which is great because this will help you determine what might be the best cost-effective for you. Some students that may be sticking with CSUN tuition and financial aid. For others, the host payment option might be preferable due to tuition costs might be lower or financial aid that's available there. Eleanor and I are happy to discuss these options with you further so that you are identifying the best fit for you. So next I'm going to go over how to apply for NSE. First, I want to point out that the priority deadline is the second Friday of February, and then the final deadline is the last Friday of February. In order to have an NSE application to be complete, you must have the following items: the online NSE application. And just like the other programs applications, don't be scared. We will have application workshops to help answer any questions you might have. We're here for support. You are required to submit your unofficial CSUN transcript with your fall grades. You are required to submit one faculty or staff recommendation. So this can either be a professor or a staff member that you build a relationship with. It's open to providing this for you. If you don't have that already, this is a great time to start building those relationships. There will be one foreign language requirement if you plan to apply for Quebec or Puerto Rico. And then finally, there is a $250 application fee, which is an online payment. It is important to point out that the NSE placement is subject to availability. In your application, you are eligible to select up to 5 campuses, but you can only be selected to one campus. The $250 application fee does not guarantee placement, so students are encouraged to meet with Eleanor and I to discuss placement probability and campus choices for your best chance at placement. So if you want to learn a little bit more about NSE, you can go ahead and set up an appointment to meet with Eleanor and I. Now, these next 2 opportunities are for when you're an alumni of CSUN and are looking to advance your teaching English abroad. We do have some opportunities that you could complete research in another country, or you are advancing your studies. So we have some amazing opportunities where you can be adventurous, learn more about other cultures, give back, be involved, build relationships with others, and really help your career or your future goals. So the first one I'm going to discuss is the China Scholarship Program. This has been a program at CSUN since 1999. It is sponsored by the China Scholarship Council, and this is open to all graduating seniors and alumni. You must have your degree by the time of this scholarship begins, and all study areas are eligible to apply for this scholarship. This is a chance for you to study in China for a year or possibly longer, and this award covers all tuition and living costs while in China. Now, the next slide is going to discuss eligibility. So to be eligible for this scholarship, you will need to have a final GPA of 3.0. You have to take at least 1 semester of Chinese or have had private tutoring. Again, this is open to any student that has completed their degree at CSUN. And lastly, you must be a U.S. citizen at the time of the application. The application deadline is in early February of every year. I am the China Scholarship Advisor, so you can contact me to learn a little bit more about this opportunity. We're going to move on to a Fulbright program, and we're going to go ahead and start with a video for you guys.
Fulbright is Fulbright is
adventurous, an incredible experience, a really key part of American diplomacy.
The true purpose of it is to create mutual understanding.
It's rigorous.
It's what you make of it.
Fulbright is this incredible resource.
You don't know how much you're capable of until you're put in certain situations. It gets you comfortable with the uncomfortable.
It really changes your identity. It gives you a new perspective.
I see it as like a chance to have a big adventure.
You embrace those hardships, you make it your own.
Fulbright is an academic cultural exchange program.
It's for Americans doing study, research, or teaching English for roughly an academic year.
I did my Fulbright in a small Pacific Island country called Kiribati.
And I went to London,
To Malaysia,
Belgium, Senegal,
Jordan,
Cambodia,
India,
Singapore,
the Galapagos in Ecuador.
When I went to Trinidad, my research focused on girls in a juvenile detention center.
Trying to fight hunger and malnutrition in Ethiopia.
studied high-speed aerodynamics at a small research laboratory outside of Brussels.
focusing on trivalent chromium and type 2 diabetes.
Working with researchers to understand the impacts from plastic pollution.
taught 5th through 8th grade students conversational English.
The whole point of my project is to create empathy and understanding and respect for Kiribati people.
It's a life-changing experience.
It's not just your grant year. Fulbright is lifetime.
Fulbright is for everyone. So that means that Fulbright is also for you.
So that video is actually just a great way to explain the Fulbright U.S. student program. It is the largest U.S. exchange program offering opportunities to students and young professionals to undertake international graduate study, advanced research, teaching English in university setting, or at a primary or secondary school level. There are about 2,000 grants annually that are given in all fields of studies, and it operates in over 140 countries worldwide. This program is sponsored by the U.S. State Department. CSUN does encourage all graduating seniors, graduate students, and alumni to consider and participate in this prestigious program to advance their understanding of other cultures and to further their studies, teaching, and/or research endeavors. You must be a U.S. citizen by the time of the application deadline. We do recommend that you start the application process at least a year in advance. And I'm happy to say that CSUN was a top producer in the 2019-2020 application cycle. Out of 9 CSUN applicants, 3 alumni received Fulbright Awards, 2 for the Open Study Research and 1 for the English Teaching Assistant Award. On the next slide, I'll explain a little bit more about the awards that are available. So the different type of grants that you can apply for, first is the study/research grant. This is an opportunity where you can pursue graduate studies or create your own research project. You'll either need to be accepted to a university or enroll in classes and have an affiliation in the country you're applying to with the research project you're working on. Or the English Teaching Assistant, also known as the ETA. It'll allow you to teach English abroad in a variety of formats in an educational setting at all different education levels. Now, this grant requires for some flexibility as you select which country of your choice when you apply, but you will be placed in the specific destination in that country. The next 2 programs are special. They are offered through Fulbright, but you do need to make sure that you meet the specific requirements to apply to these. They are an additional aspect to the awards that we just discussed. So the Fulbright Fogarty Fellowship is offered through a partnership between the Fulbright program and the Fogarty International Center of the U.S. National Institute of Health. These awards are established to promote the expansion of research in public health and clinical research in resource-limiting settings. The next is a great opportunity. It's the Fulbright National Geographic Storytelling Fellowship. This provides a unique platform for American Fulbright students to develop global narratives and discuss commonalities across borders around common issues or themes. You are trained, supported, and mentored by National Geographic editors during the grant periods. The grantees will use new media platforms to help build ties across cultures while enhancing mutual understandings. So the application cycle opens in April of the year before the grant would start. Our campus deadline and interviews are held in early and mid-September. The annual Fulbright deadline is usually around October 13th. And I am the Fulbright Program Advisor for CSUN, so you can contact me to learn a little bit more about this opportunity. Next, I'm going to hand it back over to Eleanor to discuss the next steps.
So you have attended an information session. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back, round of applause, all that fun stuff. So what do you do next, right? So what we recommend students do, or what we would like for you to do, is review these program websites. So we've just gone over a bunch of really great opportunities, but to really get a sense of which one is going to be a good fit for you, you need to see what they offer, right? So we just touched a little bit on each program, but if you go to our website, which is just www.csun.edu/international, which we have listed here, I'll take you there right now. We actually have all of the links to our programs on our website. So here we are at the International and Exchange Student Center website. If you haven't been here before, welcome. Since we can't welcome you to our physical office right now, welcome to our website. So you can see we do have information on our National Student Exchange or Study Abroad, information for international students, ways to get involved through our office. But under Study Abroad, you'll see we have program links for the Cal State University International Program, CSUAP. We have a link for our campus-based exchange program. For those of you who are like, where are we going to find more about those scholarships? We have our cost financial aid and scholarship section, and so the ones that I discussed earlier are going to be listed here as well, in addition to some other ones that I didn't list in the presentation. So lots to choose from. We also have our China Scholarship Program and our Fulbright programs linked here as well. For those of you who want to know how to access this information session recording, we will be posting it to the information session section here. And CSUAP and our National Student Exchange are also offering their own program-specific info sessions, and so we have included the CSUAP ones in this area, and we're going to be adding the NSE ones. They just updated some new dates. We have a section for non-CSUN affiliated study abroad programs. The Study Abroad Fair, we actually have a couple of different events coming up starting next week, so we encourage you to take a look at this link because this is another great way to learn more about the CSUAP program, and then other useful links for study abroad. And then under the National Student Exchange tab, we do have a section for cost and financial aid, so if you do want a little bit more information about the payment plans and just how the costs work, this is a great section for that. You don't have to worry about the incoming NSE students, but just so you know, we also welcome students from other campuses, so you may end up having some NSE students in your classes over the years, which is exciting. But the section that you'll be looking at is the information session and how to apply. So there will be instructions and links for our application process here. So these are really great links just to get you started, get you a little bit more information so that you can do the research, because the research is the biggest aspect of this. You really want to give yourself time to look into the programs, find that right fit, start narrowing down your choices, because once you have an idea of what program you think might be a good option, or which programs, because we could have more than one, after that point we want you to send us an email. So you can email study.abroad@csun.edu to set up a one-on-one appointment. When you do send that email, make sure that you have noted somewhere that you have attended an information session so that we don't send you back to attend another one. And that way we know we can immediately set you up for an appointment because you've gone through the steps. And at that appointment, Rebecca and I will work with you to go over your program options, help you get started on which program you want to focus on and the online application affiliated with that. And then from there, we just want to make sure that you stay on top of program deadlines and requirements, because once you get started, it all happens very quickly, and so we want to make sure you're staying on top of that. And Rebecca can actually give you a little bit more information about how to stay in touch with us and stay connected.
Yeah, we just want to make sure you guys are following us. So go ahead and take out your phone and follow us on social media. Here's our social media and website information. Instagram @CSUN Study Abroad, as well. Facebook is the same, at CSUN Study Abroad. And then our website that we just went to, www.csun.edu/international, that I actually added in the chat for you. So we will post more during the school year about events and or sessions we'll be offering. It's just a great way to stay up to date with program announcements and deadlines. And lastly, I'll turn it over to Eleanor to go ahead and close it out, or we'll have a question and answer session as well.
Thanks, Rebecca. We have also provided additional contact information for you to get in touch with us. To reach out to me, Eleanor Walgast, please email eleanor.walgast@csun.edu. To get in touch with Rebecca Spector, please email rebecca.spector@csun.edu. We have also provided the website for the International and Exchange Student Center, www.csun.edu/international. So I'm just going to share with you a quote that our office is quite fond of. Travel is the only thing you buy that makes you richer. And I believe that's quite true, right? You do invest a little bit of money when you participate in a study abroad program. You know, you have to buy a flight there. You have to pay for housing and meals and travel and all that stuff. But the money you put into it ends up giving you so much more when you come back from these programs. You know, our students do come back richer on a personal level, on a professional level, on an academic level, because you have so much room for growth when you participate in an exchange. You meet so many new people and so many wonderful people. You go to so many wonderful and new places. You learn so many new things, and it's all just a way to enhance the education that you have at CSUN. There's so many great opportunities at CSUN, and this is one of them, and it's really just going to help build upon not only your time at CSUN, but even after you've graduated, because employers love to see this, and this is something that really does just keep on giving after you've participated. So we hope that you'll make this investment in yourself and participate in this during your time at CSUN. And we just want to thank you for coming to this session. And if anyone has any questions, we are available to answer those. But thank you all for attending the session today. We're excited to help you on this journey.
Yeah, definitely. We hope to meet you guys all.